Okay, today's project is hopefully replacing the fuel tank straps on this 2004 Toyota 4Runner, and this is what the skid plate looks like. It's in pretty rough shape. So I gotta take off this bolt, this bolt, this bolt. I think there's a bolt there, I can't tell. And take off that skid plate first. It is in really rough shape. And then the back strap on this fuel tank is actually broken. There's the back strap. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get in here a little better with the light. There's the rear strap. It is nothing left of it. It's supposed to go on there. And it's completely broke off. So I'm hoping I can get that bolt out there and get that out and then replace that. And I'm probably not going to go with a skid plate right now because they're really expensive. The one for the 2004 is $800, and that's at a discount. But they do make them for the newer generation, and I think they fit these, and they're only $158. So I might try that because I can just return it. But anyways, let me get down there and see if I can get some of these bolts out. I'm going to start by using a needler on some of these screws because I can barely get a socket on them. These are 12 millimeter bolts, and a 12 millimeter socket is really tight on there. And I'll see if these things even move. Nope. Let me try and heat this up a little bit. I just have to be careful. It is a fuel tank, but if I can expand it right here, keep the fuel directed towards the frame, might be okay. This frame's probably full of debris, so I'm sure the threads all the way up are going to be plugged up. So let me heat that up. Okay, I've got a rag that's wet. What I'm going to do is kind of heat this at an angle like this. Try not to get the fuel tank hot. And that rag should keep it cool. Okay, heating that up, broke that free. Oh, maybe not. It just snapped right off. It was coming out of there nicely though. You can see the steam coming off of it. So I don't know why this broke off, but there's part of the bolt right there. I'll see if I can get that thing out of there. Jeez. But this whole thing would probably just break off and get it out of my way, but I may want to replace this someday. So we'll see if they come out. And what I'm using on these other bolts is a wrench to pull them out a little bit, work them in, keep going back and forth until they come out. And that screws out. All right. So I got 2 screws that survived and one that broke. So I didn't take my time on that one. I should have worked it back and forth. These ones I broke and then worked them back and forth. Just got a few more to take out. All right, this one is a 14 millimeter. Let's see if I can get the camera in there. And it is just barely moving. I heated it up quite a bit, and it's just breaking free. So that's this rear strap where everything's busted on here. I'm definitely changing the rear strap. I don't know if I'm going to get into the front strap, but for now, I'm working on this one. Take your time on this bolt. This one took about 20 minutes to get out. I had to keep heating it up, but we got the hinge bracket off. But it definitely took a lot of heat. I had to keep heating it up. I kept that wet rag up there to try and keep the heat off the fuel tank. And now I've got another 12 millimeter. So the hinge brackets are 14 millimeter. And I just got to take off another 12 millimeter bolt to get this other side. But I'll keep working, get that other strap off the back side. I think that other side has a pin, with a cotter pin in it. So I'll have to get under there and look at that. All right, we're getting there. We've got that other bolt out. That one came out pretty decent. Got a system down now. Let's see. So this is the junk we have so far. And we're gonna work on trying to figure out, this would be a lot easier if you have a lift. So I might have to jack this up to get underneath there and get the other 4 bolts. I think there's 4 more, not quite sure. I'm guessing there's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5. There might be 6 more bolts. We'll see. Let me get underneath there. All right. Hopefully you can see this. There's the cotter pin. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There's the cotter pin there. And it looks like there's only 1 12 millimeter bolt. And that cotter pin should easily come out. Let me see. Yeah, it all feels loose. Doesn't feel like it's gonna turn or anything. It feels like it's all seized, but if so, I might have to cut it. And there's 1 strap up there, it looks like. So maybe we only have a few more to go. So let me get this one unhooked here. Okay, we got that bolt out, and this thing just fell apart. So now you can see the pin. I pulled the cotter pin out of it, but it's froze up there pretty good. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and hit that with a hammer and try to get it to break free. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut one of the ends off of it. I'm not really sure how I'm going to get it out if it won't move, but I'm going to try and hit that pin and get it out. And then I think I only have 1 more bolt over there to get out, and this whole thing will fall down. And then I'll put this strap on in the back. Let's see. Okay, the last bolt is out. So there was 6 bolts total. 4 on the driver's side, and then 2 on the inside. I have a ratchet strap holding up the fuel tank. I can't get that pin out. I gotta get a hammer in there, but I got the whole skid plate out, what's left of it. So now I gotta work on that pin. So here's what's left of the skid plate. Try and orient this a little bit. So that's the way it sits. That's the back near the spare tire. That's the front near the drive shaft. This is the driver's side, left side. There's just nothing left of this thing. But I'm not going to put a skid plate on for now, but I am going to put another strap on. This does not support the fuel tank at all. This is strictly a skid plate to try and protect it. I may fabricate something, but for now, I'm not going to use one. So let me go work on that pin. This is the mess. underneath the vehicle. And this is where I put the tow strap on for right here, this strap, just to hold it. There's the rest of the other strap. And as soon as I pull that off, I think I might heat that pin up and see if I can get it to move. All right, what I did is tuck the rag up inside here. Try and protect some of those, and I'm heating this up on the outside, hoping to expand it a little bit so I can get that pin out. But let me finish heating this up, and I'm going to grab it some vice grips and try to pull it out. There's absolutely no room to get your hands in here. Maybe if you pull the exhaust out, but the exhaust is right here, the drive shaft's here, the rear end's here, so really tight fit. So I've got some little tiny channel lock or vice grips here. I'm going to try and grab that. Okay, it looks like this thing's moving now. So that worked, heating that up. So now the pin moves. Now I just got to get it to come out. So I'm going to work it a little bit back and forth and then pull it out. It should, thing's going to be super hot. Oh man. It's really hard to get fingers in here. Woo! That was fun. All right, that one's out. Let me get out from under here. All right. So I did buy both of them. I gotta just look up real quick which one's the front, which one's the back. These are OEM fuel band assemblies. There we go. So this is a 2004 Toyota 4Runner. So they should all be the same for the next 20 years. They really haven't changed nothing. But there's the two part numbers, 77602-35030 and 77601-35090. Now on the back, this says 2Q and this one says 2R. And I believe, let me see, I believe that the 2Q is the one I need. No, you know what? It's definitely going to be this 2R. So it must be 2, meaning rear. This is definitely the one I need. So the rear one is 77602-35030. That's for the rear. And like I said, it has a stamp on it right here that says 2R. So it must be in rear. I don't know what 2Q means, but 2R is definitely the rear. All right, let me go put this thing on and put that, I'm gonna clean that pin up a little bit, and then this should just bolt right in. I'm gonna put some anti-seize on it. All right, I've got the pin back in. I did sand it down a little bit, and I put some anti-seize on it. So I do probably have to jack up the gas tank a little bit because the back is sagging. And I did fill this up before I started, and the reason I did that is because gas fumes are more flammable, and I was down to the bottom of the tank, and I thought I was going to do it then, but I thought it'd probably be better if I just fill it up. So now the tank is really heavy. So I'm just going to jack it up, and then I'll bring this strap around. I am going to put the screws that were removed back in here with anti-seize so they can be removed. If I decide to put a skid plate back on this, I'll be able to reuse these and it won't get rust in them. So let me go around to the other side and put the bolt in and get this jacked up. I've got the fuel tank lifted, and I actually lifted it till the truck started moving. The suspension started coming up a little bit, and I know it's all the way up, and you can see the strap is hanging down right there. I'm gonna go put in those bolts on the other side while I have everything underneath there, and then I'll put in this strap bolt over here. So I'm bringing this around, and as you can see, I'm about 3 inches off on here. So I'm gonna try and put the jack right underneath the strap and see if I can push it up like that, because the bolt is only 3 inches and this is pretty far away. Okay, I had to rearrange some things here. The jack had to go in the very back of the fuel tank in order to get this thing close enough. Right now I just have barely threaded in, but that's the only way I could get this up, is to grab it from way back there. Let's see if it'll go in now. All right, so that's on there, and then I'm going to lower the jack. All right, should be good now. Pretty big mess. I'm going to try and change the front strap now, because I don't think it's going to last very long, and without a skid plate as a next protection. Sorry for the malfunction, but my phone died. This front strap came out much easier. The pin was a lot easier also. I'm just checking to make sure the front straps are the same. And the front strap is a 77601-35090. The front strap was in good shape, but you know, this pin's completely froze. It won't move. You can see this one's good, and then hasn't rotted completely off. But I would say the front bolt, because of its location, this bolt was much harder to take out. I have my jack holding it up right now, but the front bolt is right here, and it was filled with debris. I had to work it in and out really slow. You don't want to break this bolt. And I'm just gonna clean up that pin and put the new one in. But I mean, if you're gonna replace one, you might as well replace them both. And I would definitely stick with Toyota brand, so the thing doesn't just snap off or is made in inferior parts or materials. So I'm gonna put that on, and then we'll clean up this mess. So I got everything all cleaned up, put away, and let's get underneath here and take a look. So we got the new front strap right here, and I was about to say the new back strap, but the new rear strap right there. And I've got all the bolts put back in for the skid plate if I decide to get another skid plate. But I would definitely recommend sticking with the Toyota brand. And this truck is a 2004, and I'm sure these were original straps, and it's got 265,000 miles. So I would say that these things lasted pretty good amount of time, but they also did have a skid plate on top of, you know, covering them. So I'm gonna look at probably ordering the other skid plate and see if it fits, and if it doesn't, you know, I can take it back. But thanks for watching, and I hope this helps someone else make their own repairs. Leave some questions and comments below. Thanks.